So driving solo, that doesn't sound like a bad deal. And you know, psychologists and therapists always say, if you like yourself, it's okay to be alone. But man, what happens when you've been married for 46 years and suddenly he's gone? And that's what happened to our guest, Susan Alpert. When I was reading the book Driving Solo, subtitled Dealing with Grief and the Business of Financial Survival, I was thinking, I've been married for 29, and I can't even imagine losing her. But after 46 years, what was the instant reaction that you had, other than, of course, obviously the sadness? Was there a sense of desperation?
It was such a shock, not the loss, but the fact that now I was really alone. And the question is, who am I alone? And how do I go about putting my life back together? And did I want to put my life back together? That was the big one. I really didn't.
You had at least enough time to prepare, though, for the education that you were going to have. You had leukemia, and so there was a relatively, if not a long period of time, there was a period of time when you knew that it was serious.
You know, at the end, the last couple of weeks, we accepted that it was terminal. Before that, he was so optimistic, and therefore it was contagious. We all believed that he was going to survive.
You're both in denial, and then you took a look at the important papers and the wills and the bills and the checkbooks. And that's why financial survival is a part of your subtitle. How do you manage, though, with bill collectors at your door to try to explain grief to them?
It's a process that I found. I dissociated my brain from my heart and my soul because I had to get into the mode of, I can do this. I treated it like a business. I had been in business, and I took the whole picture and broke it into simpler parts. But I didn't realize that I did this until in retrospect. And I said, how did I do this? You take it step by step, but the important thing is to know what the steps are. And most of us don't. We're just thrown paper on top of paper. The accountant tells you you need to fill out a Form 706 within 6 months. What is a 706?
But you cover that in here.
All of that, because I found out, and I realized I floundered so much, and I have business experience. What happens to the average person who doesn't? And I knew where everything was. I just didn't know what to do with it.
Does losing someone mean replacing that person?
Oh, never, never. That person is with you forever. They're part of who you are. Things that you think, expressions, they're with you. But you have to get on with your life, because now you're somebody not defined as a couple. You're now defined as who you are. And that takes a while to find out when you've been with somebody for 46 years.
Same response from divorce, is it the same?
Absolutely. Divorce, separation, even a long breakup is very difficult. You're suddenly looking at it and say, okay, where do I turn? Who do I relate to?
There's a lot of folks that translate alone as being exactly the same as lonely. But you make it very clear that that isn't true.
Absolutely not. Being lonely, you can be lonely this afternoon and go out tomorrow and find somebody to talk to and have a lot of fun. But being alone means you are completely responsible for everything. No matter what piece of paper in your house moves, you are the one who moved that piece of paper. There's nobody there to do anything for you. You are a solo individual. But that gives you tremendous amount to go out and grow and expand.
How did you do that?
Slowly. Slowly, carefully, and with a lot of trepidation.
And then you decided to write a book. Where can we find this other than at Amazon.com? We know everything that's ever been written, including the Gutenberg Bible, is available there. But what about Driving Solo?
Driving Solo can be found, of course, through there and through Nook and all the new technological ways of finding a book, go on my website, SusanAlpertConsulting.com. You can order directly from there.
Do people contact you, people who have lost somebody from some breakup of some kind? Do they contact you at that website and tell you their stories?
Occasionally, mostly through the website. They either want to get the book or my private services, which I will do consulting and work along step by step with people. It's a hard process.
But did you hear that? That's the voice of the masses saying, tell me where I can find your private services.
Yeah, that's all. Everything through my website is available.
You better repeat that again.
Thank you. www, of course, SusanAlpertConsulting.com.
Wait just a second. You wrote it down wrong. It's not Albert. It's Alpert, like in Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. Go back, change that. Alpert, and her first name is Susan. And you know what? You don't even need my good wishes for the future, because it's pretty solidly established in your life. Susan Alpert on the Morning Scramble. You knew that, didn't you?